What's up, everybody? It's MrTalkbox here, and welcome to my studio, The Box. And this is my story. Check it out. So, a little bit about me. Everything began for me as a young kid. I was born into a musical family. My mom and dad had a gospel group, and their band used to come over to the house and rehearse. All right, and so one week, the drummer didn't show up to rehearsal, and so my parents had just bought me a Muppet drum set. You know, it's got the little animal's face plastered on the front like blah. But yeah, I had the Muppet drum set, and when that drummer didn't show up, they started rehearsing out in the front. I pulled my drum set out and I started playing with them. I started playing the drums with them, and guess what? My dad was like, wow, he actually knows the stuff. So, you know, that's where my musical journey began, right in my father's gospel music group. When I started playing with them, we started traveling the country, you know, playing all over the place. And we did a style of music that's called quartet music. It's not a thing where it's four people singing in a quartet. It's a genre called quartet music, and it was amazing. It's knee slapping, toe tapping, hands clapping, just real joyous and moving, meaningful music. And I really loved it. It was fun. I learned a lot. And as a young boy, I was able to travel and gain a lot of experience. I learned, you know, a lot of stuff that shaped me into who I am today. You know, that music really moved me. I saw it move people, and yeah, man, it was fun. And you know, my role, you know, was I was kind of like the utility guy. Everything that I heard, I could actually pick it up. If I heard a guitar part, I could pick up the guitar and start playing. If I heard a bass part, I can pick up the bass and start playing it. Keys, same thing. Drums, every instrument. I could sing. I could sing and play, and it was fun. I loved it. Now, you know, most kids, you know, they love to play video games or they love to go play sports. My thing was music. And all of those travelings of me, you know, going out and playing in my dad's group, we had so many experiences, walking in different atmospheres, learning how to work a crowd or win over a crowd. It was all those experiences that helped me to be who I am today. The stuff that I played in quartet music, you will hear it influenced in the music that I do today. It's very funky. It's very, it has a drive. And if you hear my music, if you listen to my music, it has that element in it. And meaning, like in quartet music, we used to do this thing. We call it driving. Where we get on a note or we get on a loop and we drive. We stay there for a long period of time. Background singers, they locked in. The band locked and loaded. The lead guy is just working the mic, working the crowd, and we would just lock in. We would drive. You know, drums, bass, guitar, keys. We would drive and we would lock in, and it taught me discipline. And it actually taught me the funk, man. The funk that y'all hear in my music, that genre of music taught me that funk. It's a feeling, you know, you feel it. It's from your soul. It's a passion. You play from your heart. You play from your spirit. And what I do today, that's where it all started for me. I'm very thankful for my upbringing in the quartet gospel scene, because it really does influence and shape who I am today. My cousin, we were hanging out, and we went outside to his mom's car, turned the radio on. We turned the radio on, and this song came on called Computer Love. It blew me away, and it had this computerized vocal that sounded, it had these beautiful harmonies. I was like, what in the world is this? And I heard that song, and then my cousin was like, oh man, we have that record at the house. I said, oh no. I said, no way, dude. I gotta hear this. I gotta hear more of this because I was super intrigued by that. So we went over to his crib. We went over to his house, and he pulls the record out. He pulls out the record, and it was a band called Zapp and Roger. And I was like, oh my gosh. I said, dude, play that record now. And so he played the record, and he played a song called I Want to Be Your Man by Roger. And listen to me, guys. When I heard that song, immediately I knew that I wanted to play that instrument. Whatever that instrument was, it mesmerized me. It moved me. The harmonies were beautiful. The arrangement was so awesome. The sound, I had never heard anything like that before in my life. And I knew, I was like, listen, I'm going to play that instrument, but I'm going to do it in gospel music. That's because that's where I was at the time. I was in gospel music. I said, I'm going to be the guy to do that in gospel music. And I went on this huge journey to try to find that sound. And this, I'm in my teens, and we didn't have any computers. You couldn't go on the internet. So I had to ask around. I had to go to a music store. No one could tell me what that sound was. So, I felt hopeless. I was like, but I'm not going to give up. So I kept fighting. I kept, trying to figure out what that sound was. And eventually I did. It was definitely a process. One of the organists at my church at the time, great organist, good friend, he saw and he heard me always talking about this instrument, this sound. He knew who the artist was. And so he had this machine called a vocoder. It was a Digitech vocalist. He saw the excitement in my eyes. He was just like, dude, just take this one and learn how to use it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm going to learn how to use this thing. So I hooked it up to my keyboard and got the mic, and I learned how to use that sound. I used that vocoder sound. It wasn't quite that computerized sound that I heard from Roger, and but I was happy because I was in the right direction. And I believe that's how I learned how to master the Talkbox, because of that vocoder. I played that vocoder for a couple of years, and it was my starting point. And so it was fun. I had a great time doing it, but I still was in search of that computerized sound that he had. It was so clean, and it was so clear. So my pursuit was still on. And so as I began to pursue this thing, I had become a huge fan of Roger and Zapp, and basically, I would listen to the radio and just to hear the song, to try to figure out, I don't know, maybe one day he'll come to town. Sure enough, Zapp and Roger came to my hometown in Orlando, Florida. Freaked me out. I was so excited. I told my parents, I'm like, yo, I gotta go to this. They knew how excited I was. I said, Mom, Dad, please, y'all help me. I gotta buy a ticket to this show. And I had just turned 18, and because he was playing at a club. Now, you can't get in a club unless you're 18 or older. And so, luckily, I was 18. I was able to go, and I go to this club. I walk in these doors. I see these two big instruments with tubes, and they was so dope, man. It had like sparkly things on it. It was so exciting. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's here, it's the machine, it's the Talkbox, it's here. And so I go into this club, and I walk straight to the stage, and I stood there all night. And in my hand, I had that record that my cousin, they gave me the record actually. I had it in my hand, and it was Roger's I Want to Be Your Man album. Now, I know that sounds crazy. The people in the club thought, man, who is this young kid up here with I Want to Be Your Man? They probably thought I was nuts. They thought, I don't know what they were thinking, but I didn't care. I wanted to see the guy rock that Talkbox. I wanted to see that sound. I wanted to hear it live. And sure enough, man, I stood there all night. They had about 4 opening bands. Roger comes out finally around 11:30 at night. I'm like, yeah! So he comes out. Roger comes out. Oh my gosh, kills it. He comes out with a song called Do It Roger, Do It. And that's where he plays the guitar. Then he goes, after that, he jumps on the Talkbox, and he goes into a song called So Rough, So Tough. Oh my gosh, you cannot imagine how excited I was. He went on, he kept playing all of his songs, More Bounce to the Ounce, Computer Love. Then he did I Want to Be Your Man. When he did the song, I Want to Be Your Man, I had that record there. I'm like, dude, I don't want to be your man, but I'm your fan. I don't want to be your man, but I'm a huge fan. So I was just like, I couldn't believe I was hearing this song live. And so Roger comes to the edge of the stage. He sees me. He's been seeing me all night. He grabs the record, kissed the record, and gave it back to me. And I was like, man, I'm excited. I'm like, yes, Roger, man, this dude is the dude. I was in heaven, y'all. I was in heaven. And they killed it. They finished the show. Everybody starts leaving the club except me, because I want to meet Roger Troutman. I'm going to meet Roger Troutman because I'm inspired by this dude right now. So I'm going to meet him. So Roger, I'm waiting, and the security guy was like, what's up, dude? Can I help you with something? I say, well, man, I just want to meet Roger. And as soon as I said that, Lester Troutman, which is Roger's brother, the drummer, walks out. And he was like, I said, hey, I want to meet Roger. Can I meet Roger? He said, absolutely. So he took me back. I met Roger Troutman, and I was just geeking out. I was fumbling over my words. I was so excited, and I asked him to sign my album. He signed it, and I was just like, ah. And so every single day after that concert, I listened to Zapp and Roger. Every single day. There wasn't a day that went by. I played it in my car. I learned all of his songs, and I loved it. And I practiced, listen. Like, I knew every lyric. It was amazing. So this is the actual record that my cousin gave me and that Roger Troutman signed for me twice. I still have it. Will never get rid of it. So I don't know if y'all could see it, but this is where he signed the first time, right there. And then the second time, he signed right here. It says Roger. So after all of that, I still didn't find the Talkbox sound. I did not find the Talkbox sound. And another thing happened. I got actually a big call to go on tour with a band called NSYNC. And it was just awesome. It was very awesome. I couldn't believe it. I got the call to go on tour with them, and lo and behold, the music director at the time, Kevin Antunes, my good friend. How you doing, my man? Kevin Antunes had a Teddy Riley version of the Talkbox, which is pretty much the same as Roger's. The guy that built Teddy's built Kevin's. So I was able to see Kevin's. I saw his Talkbox, and I looked at it, and my mind I had a photographic memory. I was just literally like, I got it. And as soon as I got it in my mind, I was like, yes, I'm going to build a Talkbox right now. I'm going to figure it out. So I went to my buddy Ruben, which is the guitarist. Ruben actually knew and helped me to get my Talkbox made. And again, like, well, I didn't really have a lot of money at the time. Like, I was just coming up the ladder. I was just getting in the band. I was the newest member of the band. I just had started making money. It was all overwhelming. So Ruben was the one that bought the first replica of the MrTalkbox for me. He spotted me the money, and I bought it. We had it made, and I was on my way. And we got the sound. I was so excited. I already had the keyboard that Roger was using, and guys, when I finally got that sound, it was just, I lit up like a little kid at a candy store. It was Christmas for me in the middle of the summer. It was Christmas for me, and I played that thing every day, night and day. I had it on the bus with me. I took it everywhere with me. I had it under my bed, sleeping. I had it everywhere with me, everywhere I went. And that's how I got with the Talkbox, y'all. I found it. You know, how long did it take me to master it? To be quite honest, I had been playing that vocoder so long. I don't know what it was, but it was literally like an instantaneous thing. I grabbed that tube, put it in my mouth, and I just started. It was like magic. I was so excited. It was like magic. Like I dialed it in pretty quickly, and I thought it was fate. You know, I thought it was fate. I thought I had met what God wanted me to do in this world. So it was amazing.
Why don't you just jam with me? Come on, come on, baby, baby, come on, baby, baby.
And so, you know, after I found the Talkbox, you know, finished touring with NSYNC, and you know, at the height of their career, I felt that it was time for me to step outside of NSYNC and go do my own show, become my own solo artist. And you know, I didn't know it was going to take a while for me to get going with that, but I stepped down from NSYNC, and I went back home to Orlando, my hometown. And I started playing back in my dad's gospel group. I started working with some really, well-known groups in the gospel and Christian music industry. And and then I wound up meeting a young man. He was a bass player. He was in, he had moved from Ohio. He's going to college there. His name is Ivan Santiago. We saw him, my dad's group, we played the House of Blues. So his choir came out and they started, they did this audition for the House of Blues. So he was playing. We loved this dude. I mean, if you see him, y'all know Ivan. If you know Ivan, his skin, you would have thought he was a white guy. Like, I'm serious, but he's a Spanish guy. He's freaking funky on this bass. So he's on the bass playing at the House of Blues. I go and I say, look, man, we love what we just heard. You got to come play with us, man. So we hit it off from that moment on. And so he had a computer. Okay, Ivan had this computer. He wanted to get into recording. And at that time, I was thinking about doing my solo career. And so long story short, we hooked up, man. I said, dude, I want to do an album. I mean, would you mind recording me? He said, absolutely, this is great. This is what I want to do. So there was the birthing of MrTalkbox. At the time, my wife and I, we connected with our friends, Philip and Joyette Master, and they believed in my talent. So we all came together and we came up with MrTalkbox. And then Ivan came on board with us. We all put our minds together, and we prayed together, and we wrote this amazing record. My very first solo record is called My Testimony. And little did I know that record was going to go on to sell in 17 different countries. It actually had a #1 single in Japan, and the song is called Destiny. And to think, we recorded that record in a room on Ivan's little inbox, and we made a full record with it. And the rest is history. It was amazing. I didn't know that my record would do what it did. You guys, y'all liked it and y'all loved it, and so that record is very near and dear to my heart to this day. We made that back in 2004. We released it in 2004, and it was a huge blessing. And so, after my testimony came out, it was a huge success. And so I had this idea to do a remix album of the first record. And I was like, yeah, man, this could be kind of cool. So I teamed up with my buddy again, Ivan. We got in the studio and we chose a few of those songs from from the My Testimony record, and we formulated a remix album, and it was called The Remix Animated, in which I had 2 number 1 singles off of that record in Japan. Japan, I love y'all. Y'all have supported me so much, and I thank you guys. So after the Remix Animated album, life changed. Things began to change for me. Everything kind of stopped. Everything kind of came to a halt. In 2008, after the release of that, I went into a depression, a gripping depression. And if you know me, I'm the most happy-go-lucky person that you would ever meet. I'm always cracking jokes. I'm always smiling. I'm always smiling. And it was crazy. I didn't know what was going on. And I went through a gripping depression for at least 6 months. And it started in October 2008. And I just didn't know what was going on. But lo and behold, after coming out of it, I know what God revealed to me what was going on. And I believe He was preparing my heart. I had to go through a process of just surrender. And because during the whole time of that depression, I was praying. I was crying. I was praying. Thank God for my daughter, my oldest daughter. She would always sit with me and always try to, help pull me through it. My wife was praying for me. She wouldn't let me get on sleeping pills because I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating. I lost so much weight. I wasn't eating. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't functioning well. And my wife would not let me get on medicated prescriptions. We believe in our God. We believe in our Lord Jesus Christ. He brought us through it. He brought me through it. He did. He healed me. And coming out of it, I was a stronger person. And it prepared me for the next phase of my life. We had grown weary. We moved into 2009. We had grown weary of being in Orlando. And life was tough at that time. Life was tough. I had given up on music. I said, I'm done with music. I'm finished. No more MrTalkbox. I've told this to my wife. I'm just going to get a job, live a normal life, and we're just going to do that. And we're going to try to figure out a way to get out of Orlando. There was a young man he was a friend of a friend. He was a friend of one of our friends. And he had been following me online, following my music stuff. And he was just like, hey, I've been following you and I like what you're doing. I feel led to invest in you and then to record a record for and pay for you to do a new album. I said, oh no, that's not it. No, because I'm not doing MrTalkbox anymore, okay? I'm done with MrTalkbox. And so he was like, no. I mean, seriously, you need to consider it. Talk to your wife. Pray about it. You guys go pray about it. I've had so many promises, and those promises weren't kept. So he basically, he kept his word. He was serious. And so at the time, I was playing in a band called Group 1 Crew, and I was loving it. But my wife, she was like, dude, I love the crew. I love Group 1. But God is getting ready to do something different with you. I was like, I don't want to do nothing greater. I just want to play these drums. I'm fine. She was like, no, I'm telling you. So finally I gave in. I stepped down from Group 1 Crew, and literally the next day, that young man called me. I was like, listen, I really want to work with you guys. And long story short, he asked me, what do we need to get this album done? I said, well, my family, we all need to move to Nashville. So he basically blessed us. He paid for us to move to Nashville. We moved to Nashville. We immediately went as soon as we got all our stuff off that U-Haul truck, we went right into that studio. I hooked up with my buddy Ivan Santiago again, my boy. He had already moved to Nashville, and he had a house with a full basement, full out studio. And there you go. We recorded my third studio album called My Time. And so many amazing things happened with that album. Blew me away. Had 3 number 1 singles. Make You Smile, Get On Up, and Funkadelic Sound. They all went to the number 1 spot on Christian and gospel charts in Japan. And a lot of other things happened with that record that just blew our mind, and still today. And I'm thankful. Previously, before I moved to Nashville, like I told you earlier, we was playing a gospel show at the House of Blues. We played at the House of Blues every Sunday, pretty much every Sunday. And one particular Sunday, there was going to be a concert that night after our concert. And it basically was Kirk Franklin and Toby Mac. I was like, what? Me being in the gospel world, I knew who Kirk Franklin was. I didn't know who Toby Mac was. So we're geeking out like, oh my gosh, we're going to stay. Me, Ivan, my brother, we were all hanging out. We're going to stay after our concert. So little did I know, Toby Mac had come in and they watched me. I did the Talkbox. Had a song that we closed the showdown with on the Talkbox. So they saw me do my Talkbox. Long story short, Toby comes up to me after the show and says, hey, man, I like that Talkbox sound, man. I actually have a song that I'd like for you to get on. It's called Diverse City. So he gave me the earphones and let me hear a little bit of it. He said, I want to get that Talkbox sound on it. So, again, teamed back up with my buddy Ivan Santiago. We pulled out that studio. Ivan wrote that second verse and I performed it. And it went on to sell over 500,000 copies. A record called Diverse City. And we were very blessed to be a part of that. I made a cameo on every Toby Mac record after that. And that was a blessing. We developed a great relationship. But I moved to Nashville. Toby calls me. Says, hey man, why don't you come out on tour with us? I think it'd be great. We can help promote your album this way. You're out here. Oh my gosh. Yes. So I go out on tour with Toby Mac, and I was blessed to be there for 5 years. It was amazing. Best group of people that I'm telling you, it's like the best people to work with. And so after 5 years, I had to take another step of faith. I had to go back to what I originally started, and that was my solo career. I couldn't shake it. And God's word says that, without faith, it's impossible to please him. And I believe that I cling onto his words, and I gripped that scripture, and I said, okay, so now I want to show you my faith. I'm going to step out of this amazing band, and I'm going to do my solo stuff full time. And guys, I can't tell you enough that I felt like the windows of heaven opened for me and my family as I did it. And we're still living it right now. And as I've been doing this, solo career, I discovered something online. It's an app that's called PicPlayPost, where you see all these singers, they get together and they sing, and they put these block videos up, all these people singing, and then you got all these cool voices and harmonies going on. So I said, why don't I do that with the Talkbox? And sure enough, I started doing it. I was the first guy to do PicPlayPost with the Talkbox. Thanks to all of you guys, all of the viewers all over the world. It has really been a huge blessing to be able to do those videos and to express myself through the instrument of the Talkbox, of that inspiration I got back from Roger Troutman and Zach. And I started doing these videos though, and millions and millions of people all over the world has been seeing my videos, and it's just been overwhelming to see the response that you guys and people all over the world have given me, and the love that you guys have given me for my videos. I put a lot of hard work into it because I really want to give you guys joy. I want you guys to feel joy. I want you guys to feel encouraged. I want you guys to Have a good time when you see Mr. Talkbox and when you hear Mr. Talkbox. I want that joy to hit you, because there's so much dark stuff that's going on in the world. That's why I'm here. I want to bring you guys joy, encouragement, and to let you know, man, you can do anything that you set your heart out to do. You can do anything pertaining to the passion and the gift that God has given you. That's my mission. I want to encourage you to go into that and to walk into that. This whole story is about that, to encourage you guys to walk out whatever it is that you are trying to do on this earth and figure out your passion. And being that these videos have been going viral, I've been getting reached out to from a whole bunch of the biggest names in the music industry, in the music business. I'll name a few. I won't name many. I'll just name some people that you guys have heard me on. Like, I did a record with Keith Sweat, R&B legend. I did a record with a country star by the name of Thomas Rhett. I also did a record with Andy Mineo, which is a big hip-hop star right now. I also did a record and a documentary and a movie documentary with my dear friend, jazz bass extraordinaire Nathan East. We did a song called Daft Funk, and that album went on to get a Grammy nomination. Lastly, I'll note I did a record with my friend Toby Mac, and the song is called Feel It. And in 2015, I got my first Grammy Award nomination for the song Feel It, for my Talkbox work, and that was just huge. That was just huge. It's great things has happened, guys, since I've taken that step of faith. I want y'all to know, man, that I'm here to stay. I'm going to be doing so much music for you guys, and I'm excited about it. Right now, currently working on a new album. Working on some new collaborations. Working with a whole lot of your favorite musicians and singers. And again, y'all just look out, man. And in this next record, I'm going back to what got me right here in front of you guys. And that's going back to that Talkbox. The sound that has knitted us together. And I love it so much. And you guys have shown me that you love it. So I'm going to give you guys what you want. And I'm going to give you all that Talkbox funk, man. Hey guys, thank y'all so much for your time. Thank you for watching this. And I'm looking forward to what's next with my music career and with my relationship with you guys. I'm looking forward to encouraging you guys and giving y'all some great music. Thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you soon. So yeah, like, man, when you guys call me, when you email me or whatever, when I do my PicPlayPost, I come down here into my lab and I get it done right here. And so I know y'all want to hear some Talkbox, right? Yeah, let me give y'all a little something. I don't know what I'm gonna play.
Oh, what's up, everybody? Yeah.
So yeah, little jam out for y'all, man. Little jam out. Hey, how about I'll give you a little bit of some of the PicPlayPosts that you guys have made. Some of my biggest ones, like I'll start with the Prince tribute, man. That thing hit 5.4 million. Thanks to you guys watching. Let me see.
Could you be the most beautiful girl in the world? Yeah. It's plain to see you're the reason that God made a girl. You're so beautiful.
So yeah, that was that one. Another one y'all made big was let me see.
Before I let you go, can I get a kiss goodnight, baby? Before I let you go,
Yeah.
True love is hard to find. Yeah. I don't wanna lose you.
Yeah. So that was another one. Oh, this was a big one too. My Roger and Zapp tribute. Let me see.
Hey lady, let me tell you why.
Yeah. Come on, y'all, snap.
I can't live my life without you. Oh, baby.
Yeah, this is one y'all talking about.
Every time I see you walking by, I get a feeling you don't notice me, but in time you will. I must make you understand.
Sing it with me.
I wanna be your man.
Y'all know the song. So yeah, thank y'all. Really, really honored that you guys will watch my videos and indulge me. So yeah.